Connor, what's it going to be like for you running out that tunnel for the last time on the home field at Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium?
I mean, I think it's going to be just a total surreal moment. I'll be there with both my parents and my two sponsor parents. But I'm super excited. I think it's going to be one of the biggest games in Navy Memorial Stadium in a long time. So super excited. I'm super excited for the rest of the seniors as well.
Yeah, how cool is that? That senior day is on a day when you're playing a nationally ranked team with so much on the line for you and your classmates.
I mean, I think we're all super confident going into it. But we've won, I think it was 19 out of the last 20 senior games. So we really wanted to be another win on the record for us for our senior night, so we could really enjoy the whole experience of senior night. But I think we're all ready to have this huge win at home. It'd mean a lot to us and the entire program.
I know a real big game with all sorts of implications for the conference championship. And I know Coach Newberry said after the Notre Dame game that maybe he thought that moment was a little too big for you at that point of the season. Do you guys feel that you learned from Notre Dame coming into this game?
I think that game taught a lot of the younger guys and some of the less experienced guys what it really takes to win a big game like that. So hopefully they learn the lessons from that game and how we felt after that game to motivate us to not make those kind of mistakes again. And I think a lot of the guys have really worked hard. And I think a lot of these guys are ready for this type of game this time around.
And finally, what does it mean for you to be playing on an offensive line with guys that you've been through your entire 4 years at the academy, but also for a year at the prep school?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a direct with me, Mike Whitehouse, and Creedon are the directs of the group in the senior line. But we're all super close with each other. I've been saying this is the closest group we've had in the O-line room for years, the years I've been playing. But it's going to be an amazing feeling when we win this game this weekend, just knowing how hard we all worked for like the past 4 years, 5 years to win a game like this. Super exciting.
Thanks. Good luck.
Appreciate it.
Wags.
Connor, can you recall senior day games from when you were sophomore and junior, and how badly you all wanted to win, the underclassmen wanted to win for the seniors?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I realized how important, or I really just couldn't, put myself in their shoes as I kind of understand it now. But everybody just talked about how important it was to leave this kind of legacy for the seniors and how important it was for the seniors. But just now I realize, how much this really means to me. And just, it makes me, realize, I wish I knew a little bit more back when I was playing, when I was a little bit younger. Absolutely.
And you've been part of this senior day. I mean, it's a lot of traditions that go along with it, in addition to walking out on the field before the game along with your loved ones. Then after the game, the seniors usually gather for a group photo, and that's fun when you just won. And then they run into the locker room, and there's that little tunnel of players who throw water on them, which I always love every year, that video. But can you just talk about all of that? And do you kind of, visualize all those scenes?
Oh, yeah. I was just thinking about it this weekend. Just, how awesome it would be to win this game and to, have that experience like everybody, like the past couple of years I've got to experience it celebrating for others. So just hopefully to get to experience it myself would be incredible feeling. It's just a great weekend for the seniors. So
another tradition that Coach Niemot had started, and I believe Coach Newberry continued this last year, was that Friday night at the hotel, seniors were given an opportunity to say a few things, address the team, say maybe what the brotherhood means to them. Can you talk about that? And have you thought about what you might say to your teammates?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've definitely thought about it a little bit, but it's a time where you can kind of open up and just say how you feel, like how much the program really means to you, what you've learned. And I'll go down the line and thank all the coaches. I owe a lot of the coaches a lot just for getting me here and getting me through this place. I mean, there's been tough patches, and a couple of them got me through some tough times because it's just tough for everybody here. But I'll probably give some words of wisdom to the younger guys because there's going to be some points when they're they're going to be really struggling, whether it's football or it's, academics, and, just know that, most of the guys will get through it. And it just sucks sometimes. But maybe we'll just make a game time decision to see what I say, but I look forward to finally being the one that's up in front of everybody.
So obviously this class has been through quite a bit. I mean, it's some tough times, some losing, but how rewarding is it, considering what you've been, to be enjoying such a great season as seniors?
It's almost kind of I'm kind of just relieved a little bit, because, it's definitely sucked the past 3 years, because I committed during the year when, 2019, it was one of the best teams in the country. And, I was like, oh, super exciting, going to a team that's hopefully can carry this kind of win system throughout my whole 4 years. But it's super awesome. And I'm having the most fun I've had playing football, my senior year, because everybody's so committed to this team and everybody wants to win so badly. And we're actually winning games this year. So it's just totally different vibe this year. And I love it.
Strauss, were you able to confirm that no seniors are on the scout team?
Not that I know of. Connor, do you know of any seniors that are on the scout team?
Definitely not on the defense that we don't, or the scout team defense.
I don't think there is. We pretty much all the seniors play.
Right. Well, that's odd, because almost for years now I've mentioned or even written articles about seniors willing to serve on scout team. But that kind of brings up to what I was going to ask. This is a very productive senior class. If you go down the list, almost all these guys are on the depth chart, 23 guys, and a large percentage of them are contributors. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, I mean, I knew just plebe year how talented our class was, and we even lost some of our best athletes to other schools, which sucks. So just even imagining if we still had some of the guys we still had when I was younger. But I think this is an extremely hardworking group of seniors and a great group of leaders. I think this is probably one of the better leadership classes we've had as well, along with talent. So it's just awesome seeing everybody work together.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Scott Wyckoff.
Yeah, Connor, looking at the tape, what's impressed you about this Tulane defense? I mean, they have been on quite a roll this season.
Yeah, this is going to be one of the best defenses, like almost as good as the Notre Dame D-line. They're extremely athletic, and they're moving around. We've been watching all kinds of tape, just prepping in practice. I don't think they're going to be ready for the kind of aggression and attack we're going to bring on Saturday. So hopefully we're just able to fire off the ball super quickly, get into them really quick before they can even do anything against us. That's our game plan.
And this is a team that you guys have seemed to battle with over the years, and they have a coaching change. They really have a culture there. Do you see that when you watch the film, that everyone's bought into what they're doing?
I mean, I'm sure they are super bought in. I mean, they're a winning program. They've been winning for the past couple years. I mean, just how they play, you can tell there's a kind of culture there. They bring a different type of energy. So I think it's going to be a great challenge for us to match their kind of energy. But I think like I said, I just don't think they're ready for what we bring to the table.
Thanks a lot. Good luck.
Thank you.
Wags.
So two guys along the offensive line that are backups and, don't play a whole lot, but I could have sworn, I think Michael Whitehouse was in the game, and not just on PAT field goal against South Florida. Is that correct? Did he get in with the regular offense? Do you recall, Connor?
Mike did not get in until the end of the game. Me and Javon played 60 plus snaps. But Mike has gotten plenty of reps in a couple of the other games towards the end of the game. But he's been a great backup this year. I know I can trust him. I know if it does come down to it where he does have to come in for me or Javon, I think he could definitely get the job done.
And he is not on PAT field goal?
He is on PAT field goal.
Right. What about Creedon?
Creedon is a very similar situation to Mike. Two of my best friends right there, and they work incredibly hard at practice, and there's a lot of trust for them. If it does come down to a situation where we can't play, they both could play the tackle for us.
What about a guy like Turner Stepp, who was recruited as a linebacker and played linebacker, and then they say, hey, bud, move over to wide receiver, and my God, he's been a contributor.
I think he's totally embraced what this program has to offer. I mean, it sucks switching positions. Like, I can't even imagine having to deal with that. But I mean, I see him making plays on special teams, making plays at wide receiver, and he's just super, super tough, super hardworking guy. We were company mates for the first 3 years here, so I know him very well. But just incredibly tough kid. Glad he's getting to do some stuff this year. It's pretty awesome.
And lastly, what about Trey Cummings, who suffered tragedy as a plebe, stuck it out? You know, I wouldn't have blamed him if he left the Naval Academy in Annapolis, considering what happened. And then here he is as a senior. He's going to start, and he gets injured and suffers a season-ending injury.
I mean, yeah, we all have so much respect for Trey, because I mean, you can't even put into words that kind of experiences. I know, honestly, I wouldn't have been able to handle something like that. There's just no shot. So just a ton of respect for Trey. And it was really heartbreaking when we saw him go down, especially towards the end of the game when we were winning by a lot. But it's just, he's had a great attitude this whole senior. He's been showing up to a ton of practices. He went to a couple games. And there's a chance possibly that he's healthy and back for a bowl game potentially. I mean, if he keeps doing rehab, there's a chance it might not be his last. That might have not been his last game. But yeah, we all love Trey. We all, the team dinners with Trey it's always a good time.
What has it meant for you, this class of seniors, especially those 3 guys you have on the offensive line starting in your first year that have been there for you?
Well, it's a special group. I mean, it's great to see them have to win some games, right? And I think they're having a good experience. I really do. I think they're having a good experience with Coach Guillermo and Coach Lauren Dean, Coach McDonald. I think they've done a great job coaching them and loving them. And those guys have done a good job. I mean, they've played beat up, right? It's week. We're getting ready to play the 10th game of the year. I mean, there's bumps and bruises. They've played hard. They've given us everything they have. And this is a special weekend for them, and it's probably the last home game in the stadium there. So I appreciate those guys, because when you have a new coordinator come in and you're a senior, you don't have a lot of time, and you can choose to go one or two ways. You can accept the change and go work hard and have a great attitude, or you can really fight it and become a problem in some ways. And those guys have been awesome. And it's great. It means a lot to me to see them have, to qualify for a bowl game. We hope to win several more games this year, obviously, but to see them do what they've done, to be 7-2, for us to have been able to have some success offensively, it just means a lot to me personally to see them experience that. And they seem to have a good look about them, right? Good smile on their face, just to be enjoying these processes. So proud of those guys, because they've been through a lot, and they're awesome young men.
And what has Dava meant to you, not only being able to pick up big yardage at an important time in the backfield, but also that you've had one of the 2 captains, the highest honor a midshipman athlete can have, on your offense?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's an outstanding young man. I mean, he's played a lot of football here, and he's another guy that you pull for. You want to see him win and be successful. Extremely intelligent, just all the things you want in a person. You can trust him. He's a young man of faith, which I relate to. It means a lot to me. So he's very strong there, and he walks that walk. He didn't just talk it; he walks it. So he's been outstanding for us, just as a person and as a player.
This week against Tulane, what's impressed you the most about this defense that limits points, but also finds a way to get to the ball and take it away?
Yeah, they're really good. I mean, when I say that, I mean they may be the best defensive team we played this year, including Notre Dame. Whoever you want to talk about, they're they have good size, they have good length, they run well, they change direction well. They're upset when they get there. Okay, so they're very violent, and they're extremely well coached. They do an outstanding job coaching those guys. So and they're not giving up many points now. It's a very impressive defense. So what a great opportunity for us. What a great challenge for us. But they don't have a weak point. They really don't. They do all things well. They sack the quarterback. They cause turnovers. They're good in every area on the field. They've been really their team is been really able to run the football and really able to stop the run. That's a great combination. It was what won our game for us the other day, right? Just being able to stop the run and be able to run the football, and that's what they do. They do those things really well.
And what went into the thinking for the Week 10 beard?
I've been working on this one for a while. It just takes me a little. It just I'm very patchy, So I probably started this one a week ago. So I don't know, just November, I guess. No shave November. We'll see. It's very there's the people talk about salt and pepper. There's a lot of salt in it. So we'll kind of see how it goes.
Thanks, like good luck Saturday.
Yeah, thanks.
Tulane has an incredible 6 pick sixes this year, which is the most in the country. Wags.
Yeah. Can't let them do that.
Nope.
So do you feel like your beard can reach Coach Newberry status?
No chance. He has an amazing, like a super beard. It's almost its own. It has its own personality. It's alive. It's a living thing. So I can't. Up in here, there's a few scraggly hairs, but I can't pull off the full beard.
So I know you haven't been on the journey with them the whole way, but you've been here long enough to know how special these seniors are. To get through the Naval Academy as a football player is quite a challenge. These 23 guys that are left have been through a lot, as you mentioned. I mean, even though it's been a short time you've been with them, can you talk about the respect you have and how much you're looking forward to this weekend? I know Senior Day is special at any college football program, but here at Navy, it's something really unique.
I'm looking forward to experiencing it for the first time, and I know what it means to these young men, because this is a special place, it's a special deal. What they've been through, the sacrifices they've made, the challenges they've accepted, what they've been through as a football player. It's a big deal, and if it says anything, I want my sons to come to school here. This is what I want them to do, because I see what it does for you and how it grows you, how it challenges you, and how it turns you into an outstanding young man, in just all the right ways. So I have a great deal of respect for what these guys have done, a great deal of respect for what they've done this fall to bounce back. Just as an offense, as a football team. And then I watch what they do every day and how they do it with class, and they don't have many moments unaccounted for, right? They get up and they go, and they go all day, and they go to sleep and they get up and do it again. So like I said, I think it's an unbelievable honor to be a football player at the Naval Academy. And it's an absolute honor to be able to work with those guys because of who they are. And I got a son, Eli, who's wanting to be here next fall, and nothing would make me prouder than to see him do that. That would be a very special thing. I wish I would have done it. I wish I would have been, I think a lot of people say there's people who graduated from the Naval Academy and people who wish they had, and I'm in that group that wishes they had. So a lot of respect for what they've done and who they are and what they're going to do in the future.
One senior who's talented and was expected to contribute but has not been able to do so is Croy Myers. Is it tough to see what's happened with him? I mean, I don't know where he stands at this moment. I thought he was back practicing, but I mean, I know I have not seen Croy on the field this season. Can you talk about Croy? I mean, that's a tough situation for a senior.
Yeah, it is, and his attitude has been outstanding because that was a bad knee injury last year for him. That was an unbelievable job to recover, to rehab, and now to be playing some. I think he's got to play a little bit here and there at the end of the games, so I know he's had some playing time, but he has handled that so well. He's been a great leader in that receiver room. I know how much he means to Coach Yakitis, but what he's been through and then how he's handled it and how he's led other people and helped other people, outstanding leadership, outstanding attitude. And you pull, like I said, you pull for that guy because it's been a tough journey over the last year.
What is your assessment of the game against South Florida? You jumped out to a really fast start, 14-0. Then you had a fumble and 4 punts until you got that late touchdown in the first half, and then 4 punts and a touchdown in the second half. What was your assessment overall? I mean, I know we're spoiled and thinking maybe you should be scoring 45 points a game. 28's good.
That'd be great. That'd be awesome.
But knowing you, I'm sure you weren't happy with just 28.
Well, I got to make sure that I do a good job understanding and being patient because I am Wags. I want to score 100 every time we go out there. And, but we need to go win games as a team. And this game was a tough game because they decided, I think their head man talked about it in their post-game press conference. They were not going to give up the big play. That was something they had really worked on. Is we have been able to get the ball down the field some and have some explosion plays. And they were very I was really impressed with their eye discipline, the way they covered. Now, one thing about our offense that's really helped us is that we have been able to do those things throughout the season. And so it makes you in the safety positions and on the back end not be able to just run downhill really quickly. So it became a grinded out game. And our defense was playing tremendous. So, I think we ended up, was it around a little over 38 minutes we had possession in the game and have 300 yards rushing, and then them only have 60 yards rushing. That's going to be a recipe for a lot of wins, around here if we're able to do that. So while we'd love to, our goal per game is 31 points, and we'd love to achieve that every week. But I felt like this was a really good win. It was a really good win. It was a good job of bouncing back after, the nightmare we'd had the week before. And it was, I really felt like South Florida was a very talented defense. So I want to live in the real world. Certainly there's things we can do better, and we want to be more consistent. We hurt ourselves with a fumble. We had 3 3-and-outs, and 2 of those 3-and-outs, there were a false start involved in that series. So getting behind the sticks, and we had some lost yardage plays, but we also did some really good things. The first 2 drives, we overcame some lost yardage plays. We had a 3rd and 11 that we made. I really believe anytime you make a 3rd and long, you pretty much score a touchdown that drive. It's almost 100%. So to start off like we did, to have 2 really good drives, I thought it was huge right before the half, the way the guys executed on that drive. It was a 2-play drive, and it was great execution on both plays, and we got a little fortunate. We caught South Florida in a little bit of a middle linebacker blitz there that we were able to slip with Tesca, and but then great effort down the field blocking, and then we were able to possess the ball. So I'd like to have another 7 or 10 points in the game. I felt like it was a quality win and a good job bouncing back, and us being able to show we can grind a game out. When we did have 7 explosion plays, but obviously the passing game, they were keeping us hemmed up there, and so we showed we could grind a game out, and run the ball and run it a lot and be able to possess it.
Seemed like you ran a good amount of triple option in that game.
Yeah, and I mean we've been doing a good bit of that here and there. You want to get the right looks, and you want people to have to play assignment football and get some things isolated. Yeah, we did some triple. Some of it sometimes looks like it's triple, and it's not completely that way, but there were some true triple options in the game. Um, so so yeah, I mean we were able to get it on the edge a little bit that way. But we were able to. There was a lot of situations there where we had great movement up front, like we were able to attack some places and get some push and get some fits and if we fit it a little better, some of those are going to come running out of there and be more explosion plays. That's what we'd like to see, is just a little bit better fit on a few of those plays, and maybe that 8-yard run now becomes a 25-yard run, maybe 2 or 3 more times. So we just got to keep working and get better.
Last, before I turn it back over to Scott, from what I call my fan mailbag, as I get literally dozens and dozens of emails each week, but one fan has said, noticed, and I do think he might be slightly correct, is it doesn't seem like the receivers or tight ends have caught many balls the last few games. I haven't had a chance to go back and look at the last 3 box scores. I don't remember a tight end catching a ball here in the last couple games. But do you feel like you need to get the receivers and tight ends more involved?
Yeah, I'd love to throw it to them some more. It was, I mean, we hadn't had a lot of passing to anyone in the past, in the last 3 games. I guess in trying to think, against Notre Dame, we hit a couple things. Playing on in the weirdness at Rice was tough out there. It was very hard to make breaks and cuts out there. And then it was, obviously the weather was a little weird. And then this game, like I said, became a grinded out game. They really did not want to give us a chance down the field. I think just in general, we'd like to push the ball down the field to the split ends, to the tight ends, to the snipes. Have some opportunities to do that. Hopefully in the next few weeks. Sometimes it becomes taking what the defense gives you, but we certainly, I love to throw it around a little bit. So hopefully we get some opportunities to get those guys involved more.
I do remember Regis Velez got tackled and there was no pass interference.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Navy had the third and fifth longest drives in the USF game of the year. Third and fifth longest. I believe it was 2 of our scoring drives. So, and then we also had our 4th fastest drive. So a little bit of both against USF.
Okay.
Scott Wyckoff.
Coach, how impressive is it what Turner Stepp has been able to do this season? Starting as a linebacker, being moved to a receiver, then going back to linebacker, and then now being called back to you to contribute at wide receiver.
Turner's a tough kid. Like he's a guy you put in there on the goal line. Before we got Regis back, he was playing some snaps for us out there. He's a really physical kid, a good blocker, and he's improved as a receiver. And a kid that I believe is going to be a SEAL. Going to be a Navy SEAL. So outstanding young man. Does whatever you ask. So proud of him because he's come a long way since January. I know that much. Since I've been here, he's come a long way, and he's another one. I know how proud Coach Yokitis is of him, but he has made contributions to the program. Then he's obviously covered some kickoffs in a very violent fashion. So he's made an impact on the program any way he can. I have a ton of respect for the young men who just whatever's asked, they go try to create value in any way you need them to.
And how important has the look defense been, the scout team been this year? I mean, your first year at the academy, working with the scout team, how have they given you the good looks that you needed going into games?
I mean, they're you have to have those guys, and I really felt they did a great job last week. Some weeks you go, them guys, but I felt like they really did a great job last week. We need them to do the same thing again. And I know I've been on the scout team before myself, and there's certain guys who really go out there and they try to improve. They try to give you the look you're wanting and play hard. And so of all the places I've been, we have a much higher, I guess, buy-in with the scout team here. Those kids do a nice job and their effort and it's not always easy because we're cutting them sometimes and we're working on certain things and they come out there every day and give us a good look.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Back to you, Wags. Wags, you there? You're muted.
Yeah, sorry, you surprised me. I thought Scott would be asking another question. Tulane, their coach is 49. I'm trying to remember 29-0, Scott, if he outrushes the opponent.
I think it was
something like that.
4-0 off the top of my head, but yeah, you're in the ballpark. I think it's 24.
Right. So how much stock do you put in that particular stat? But obviously that's important to him to run the ball and stop the run, and takes great pride in it. When you and if your record is 24-0 when you accomplish that, that means your philosophy seems to be working. But if you get your season average in rushing, you will have that would be more than they are giving up on average this season. Can you talk about that and the challenge ahead of you to try to run the ball against this crowd?
Yeah, I think that's something to give us the best chance to win. We're going to have to stop, the run, and really try to make them one-dimensional. And then we're going to have to be able to run the football. And I think those are important things. And they have done a nice job with that. They did a nice job at Troy, the last 2 years with that. So obviously that's a point of emphasis is be physical up front on both sides. So that is a great challenge for us. And if we can outrush them, that'll be a heck of a day. Now, I hope that it equals more points. I really do at the end. But that is a great challenge, and they are really good. They are really good. I've watched them because I've gotten to watch them offensively too, because they played several teams ahead of us, and they're really good up front on the offensive line. The back is outstanding. And the quarterback is extremely efficient. And so now that I've gotten a chance to watch their defense a lot this week, it's hard to run the ball on them. So we're going to take that challenge on, but we have to be able to, and that's who we are. We've been able to throw it around here and there and do a few things, but the bottom line is here at Navy, we got to be able to run the ball. And so we got to put our guys in as good a situation as we can to be able to make blocks, to be able to have some space, and to not let those guys just pin their ears back on us. If we're in third and long a lot, it's going to be tough. It's going to be really tough, So I think that's a good recipe. Let's see if we can outrush them.
That's what a lot of teams might look at how good their run defense is and say, well, maybe we just go to the air, but I mean, they're good back there too, and the secondary.
They're real good.
The bottom line is you can't just give up. You got to try to run the ball. That's who you're. That's the identity.
That's what we're going to do. We're going to run the ball, and then pick and choose our times to take our shots and get it on the perimeter different ways. But we can't. We are who we are, and the success here is going to be about, can we control the line of scrimmage and have rushing yards and have some explosion plays from the run game. And that is going to be a great challenge for us. But, you go into a game like this, if we'll allow our guys to just be able to play fast, right, and have a good plan for that, our kids will go play with their hair on fire. There's no question. They'll go play hard. And that gives us the best chance to be successful. So this certainly is not mission impossible. But we know we got to go play at a high level, and then you can't turn the ball. I mean, it's all the same stuff. You got to possess the ball. You can't turn it over. You got to take advantage of being in the red zone. You got to hit the throws when they're there, right? And you got to show toughness, man. You really got to grind it. So what a great opportunity that we have to see if we can go get that done.